Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. So, before we get started, I want to make a disclaimer. Please don't go after anyone in this video, because I understand that it's a very controversial topic, and this is just done to give a bit of inside information. In May of 2018, Prince Henry of Wales and Rachel Meghan Markle got married. This at the time was seen as a pretty big deal in the UK because Rachel is an American biracial divorcee who also used to be a small-time actress. Gradually, some people became sick of her because of her extravagant spending, lack of respect for the rules, and her fake facade. Personally, I didn't trust her from the get-go. For those of you who are going to say, Henry and Rachel aren't their names. Actually, if you do a simple Google search, you will see that those are their actual names. So I'm going to use them throughout the video. I feel that it's very important to point out the ethnicities of royals throughout history. This is important because there is this perception that all royals are British when that's not the truth. Queen Victoria, she was half German, half British. Queen Elizabeth, she's part German, part British. Prince Philip, he's part Greek, part British. And can't leave out Wallis Simpson, who was an American. She's the reason why Queen Elizabeth is our modern queen, because at the time she came on the scene, she caused so much controversy, and I feel that Rachel is doing a similar thing. And also, if we look at Queen Elizabeth's father himself, he was part German, part British. So the thing is, this whole perception that every royal that's ever been in the family is British, like, technically, yes. But if we look at their parentage, no, they're not fully British at all. And I think this is a very naive perception. What got a lot of people excited was the fact that she's biracial. If you don't know what biracial means, biracial is basically a person who belongs to two different races. In this case, Rachel has a black mother and a white father. However, what the media hasn't said was that they think that Queen Charlotte was the original black royal, which is pretty significant. So it means that there has been representation of other ethnicities in the family. It's just that the media, for some reason, does not want to talk about it, and I think this is very significant because it does point out the bias that the media. When Rachel and Harry got married, there was a lot of family drama, and a lot of people got annoyed when they did the interview, particularly when Rachel said that the royals were the family she never had. There have been photos popping up showing that it seems she had a charmed life. And when it got out that she didn't invite her family, all but her mother, this was extremely strange, and it rubbed everyone up the wrong way because it seemed from the photos that she had an extremely charmed life as a child. And a lot of people felt that she should have invited them despite the feuding. Granted, Samantha, her father, and some of her family members said some vile things, but Rachel is in the wrong for completely blanking them out. The one person who she blanked out, who she shouldn't have, was her father. There are many rumours of the shitty things he did to her, but I believe he did it out of desperation. The comment that the royal family is the family she never had rubbed people, like I said before, it rubbed people up the wrong way, because the photos that come out from her childhood don't seem to correlate with what she's saying at all. Like, just take a look at these for a moment. Like, I'll pop it somewhere here. I don't know where I'm going to put it. But it seems like she had her family around her. Seems that she was very much part of the family. And I see a very happy young Rachel who seemed to basically be an innocent, sweet kid. And this narrative which she was writing, like, stemming from the engagement, like, it just didn't sit right with me. And a lot of people have been saying this, and there is more pictures of her with her father and her father's side of the family than with her mother. And it's just a whole heap of weirdness. And I feel that there could be many reasons why she started this narrative. I can't prove it but this is pure speculation that it could be she just wanted sympathy. Because being biracial, I know that particularly in America, it can be really fucking tough. Over here, it can be tough, but it's a lot easier because we're a lot more inclusive. And the fact that she is stemming this narrative trying to get people to feel sympathy for her. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going off what I'm seeing. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't think she had a bad childhood. Unless hard evidence comes out proving me wrong. Like, I think she had a very charmed childhood. And from all the videos that have come out about her childhood, the photos, like, I'm gonna believe what I see. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is the offspring of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Many people got confused by his surname. If you do some basic research, you will see that this surname has been used since 1960. The surname is used for royals without a title, and for those titled royals when they need to use a surname. The surname doesn't always correspond with the ruling royal house. When I pointed this out on Instagram, I had a lot of people, mainly Americans, telling me I was wrong. They only realised I was right when they googled it themselves. I didn't have time to get some screenshots before someone deleted the thread to show you what I meant. But this information about Archie Harrison's surname isn't new because it's been used a lot. If we compare Archie's birth certificate to that of his cousins, we can see there's a very stark difference. Even on Prince Louis's birth certificate, it is signed. And I'm not one to believe in this conspiracy theory, but I saw the video where they introduced him to the world, and he was a little bit too still. Like, I don't know that much about being a new parent yet, but there's one thing that I do know. Babies are always moving even when they're sleeping. There definitely isn't something right about the birth certificate, I can say that much, just by doing comparisons. And it's kind of sad, really, because I think this wouldn't have happened if Harry and Rachel hadn't been honest with people. Like, the fact that they've been very dishonest and the fact that they've lied on multiple occasions is worrying. I think there is something behind the rumours, but I haven't come to my own conclusion yet. I feel that the baby for one in the video is definitely too still. There's something weird about the birth certificate, just because I'm comparing it to the little I know about birth certificates and comparing it to Princess Charlotte, Prince George and Prince Louis. And yeah, it's one of those things where you don't know what to say, but you know that something's off. And I feel that way very, very strongly. And I feel that if they don't come out with the truth soon, there's going to be anarchy. I honestly don't feel that this woman would have gained anything from lying. So, the rumour that Noel Rasmussen Grant is Rachel's biological daughter. And I'm not too sure, but I feel that you need to make your own decision. The only thing I'm certain is, for a first-time parent, there's no way in hell that she could have had a birth that is 4 hours and had it that easy as an older mother, unless she's been through it before. If this is the case and it does come out that she has a daughter or a son before, it's going to cause a lot of problems because she lied. Being I feel that she needs to start being more honest. I'm not sure whether Noel is her daughter, but there's one thing. So, there's this picture which is making the rounds on Twitter and is causing a lot of controversy, and it's of Rachel back in 2013. I'll put it here, somewhere here. And she looks pregnant in it, and I feel that I honestly feel that from what people have said themselves and from what the pictures I've seen, she was definitely pregnant at some point. Whilst I can't 100% confirm it, why would one of her old employers say she had a kid with someone else? Go on, listen. I'm going to put the clip in next because I feel it's important.
She was a caddy for all of my celebrities. I had Joe Montana. I had anybody that's here was at my tournament in 2008. She was one of the Deal or No Deal girls that were caddies that I pawned them off as caddies to the highest bidders. She was so loved, and good for her. I'm laughing because I'm like, good for her. I mean, she met the prince. And she made a great life for herself. Good for her.
I've had the fairy tale now with the baby.
She's got the fairy tale now with the baby. Good for her. I mean, Jesus. She's, She's everything you're not supposed to be. Multi-ethnic, and she's been married. She already has a kid from someone, or divorced. I mean, everything you're not supposed to be in a Catholic family or whatever.
Understandably, people are getting mad. Like, these are a few of the tweets I managed to pull off Twitter just to help you to understand, give some context. And it's kind of sad because she's bringing down the monarchy and everything it stood for. And I'm not talking about as in her race, I'm talking about her behaviour. Her behaviours have been not good, not right. And whilst I can't put my finger on any one thing, like, there's a collective of it that is like, nah. And it's now affecting like the crown and that, and people are starting to call for a republic. And to be honest, that scares me. And whilst I can understand why a lot of people are mad and say, do something, ultimately the government controls the monarchy. Like, they pull the strings. And some people don't understand that, but since Victoria's reign, the government have been taking more and more control away from what the monarchy can do within their own power. I feel that Rachel needs to go until she can prove herself. But unless the government come together and say, yeah, she needs out, like, that ain't gonna happen. It's extremely sad, and there's nothing we can do about it, really. And unless people put in, hey, this person is giving us grievance for this reason, they're not going to listen. And that's earlier we talked about the power of the media, and I feel that this is really important. Every day we get a new story shoved down our throats about Rachel and Harry and baby Archie, and this is damaging because it's making people feel like they don't know who to believe, basically. And honestly, I'm getting sick of it too. Like, you hear stories every day of her and there's no getting away from it. I'm all for reading the news and that, but when someone or something is being shoved down your throat, that becomes a little bit too much. Some of the ones I find a little bit ridiculous is when people are saying things like, Archie helps me not to feel alone. First of all, there have been people who have, predominant people who have come before, who have made way for equality in both in America and in the UK, and saying that a baby makes you not feel alone, that is kind of weird for me. And also saying that Kim Kardashian is kind of jealous that Meghan Markle stole her thunder. Well, first of all, I don't think she gives a fucking rat's ass, to be honest. I feel she's just doing her own thing, and that some of the stories are purely fabricated. You have to take what you read with a pinch of salt and make up your own damn mind. Else you're a sheep. Simples. Another thing is, if you want to believe everything that you're reading, go ahead. But the media has had a habit for a while now of lying. And that isn't going to help anybody. There's a lot of contradictory reports out there about Rachel in particular, and I choose not to believe them all. I feel that some of it is very clickbaity and just attention grabbing. One news article is saying that she's going to be a pioneer for breastfeeding. Like, bitch, No. There are women before her in quite high places who have breastfed, who have been there before her. And you don't see people going, this person's great and that. But Rachel gets put in the news. Doesn't seem right to me. And if you go on Google, you can scroll through countless things and it's a new pile of crap every day. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking sick of it. Claiming that she's a pioneer for this, her outfit means this, bitch, please. At the end of the day, she is probably feeding off. So, I left this comment on Rachel and Harry's Instagram. I believe I got something called shadow blocked. I'm not really understood what that means, but by one YouTuber explained it, that basically you can ban people from commenting on your stuff, but you can still see their post. Which, okay, if that happened, I don't understand it, and I don't understand why they would choose my comment, because I didn't feel it was exactly mean. But then I left it a few days, and it was suddenly back up. And I felt that this was really shady, and that it said that Rachel and Harry were hiding something. The only thing I said was that I felt that it was wrong that they were seemingly to pay tribute to one mother, Princess Diana in this case, and not the other. At the end of the day, Doria, if you don't know who she is Rachel's mom, is still Doria's Archie's grandmother, and I felt that somehow they should have paid a tribute to her as well. Whilst it said something like a tribute to all mothers, that wasn't good enough for me. If you look at the picture, forget-me-nots were in that picture, and anyone who is a royal fan will know that forget-me-nots were a big thing for Princess Diana, and they were her favourites, right? So I thought it was rather strange that they didn't include Doria somewhere in the picture, even if it was Doria's hand holding Archie's feet over some forget-me-nots. That would still have been a tribute. And I just found it really fucking shady. At the end of the day, it's hard being in the public eye as it is, but that means you have to think about what you say, how you say it, how you put yourself out there before you do it. And personally, I felt this is shady as shit, and I felt that Rachel in particular should have known better. She was an actress before. Harry's been in the public eye his whole life. He should have said something to her and been like, babe, this ain't right, and put her in her place. Because at the end of the day, the way she's conducting herself is absolutely disgraceful, particularly for a new mother. That's all I'm going to say on her parenting and what I think of that whole shit. So, a lot of you may be on Twitter and have seen that the hashtag Mexit has been trending for a while, and there is claims that Mexit is racist, which is far from true. Mexit from my personal experience, is people who need a place to air their legitimate concerns about Rachel and to pick apart the things that she hasn't been honest about. And whilst there are a few people who have left unsavory tweets, that doesn't sum up what the group is about. People needed an outlet to voice their concerns, and this seems like the safest way, but the media has come after a lot of people. Like, they've doxed people, so people who maybe didn't have their faces on their Twitter for a reason, and there are people who have been shutting down their Twitter and getting attacked by the regulators. The main point of concern within the group is Rachel's integrity, her family values, her extortionate amount of money she seems to spend. Now, what I think started all of this was that she's claimed her name was Meghan when it's actually Rachel. And there is proof, if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen, that she claimed she was Caucasian when she's actually biracial. So this isn't a race thing. It's those regulators made it that way. And whilst some of her lies are small, it has the group thinking that she's maybe told more. And that's why they're determined to dig up whatever they can. That's why there's a lot of conspiracy theories within the group. And people want her to tell the truth. Like, they wanted to be happy for her. They wanted to be excited that she was bringing something new in. But a lot of the Megxit group don't feel that she's genuine. And that's kind of sad, in the fact that the media have attacked the group is even worse. And to be honest, it makes me a little bit sick, because some of what the media has claimed about the group is just untrue. They haven't asked anybody about why they feel that way. Pardon me. They haven't asked anybody, like, what's made them think these things. They've just made assumptions and called everybody within the group trolls. Like, in every group there's a bad bunch, but that doesn't give them the right to go and label a whole group something. Like, it's just like if you go and you say every Labour person is a bad person. Like, we all know that's not true. We know there's just a handful of them. So, whilst to an extent I can understand why they want to defend her, they also need to think it's improper journalism just to label a group something. It's toxic. And they don't know what the bulk of the group is thinking. And the thing is with the media, like, they can say anything and twist people's minds to anything because of the language they use and how it's so easy to manipulate people's feelings. And a lot of people unfortunately don't understand that, which is why there is this battle between people wanting to know the truth and then people getting called out and basically not being safe to say how they feel about, like, a lot of things. And that isn't healthy within itself. So, how do I feel about the Megxit group? I feel fundamentally it's a good group. I feel that it's very misunderstood, and I feel that people need to stop just assuming and start asking questions, and then you won't get this backlash between the Sussex squad and the Mexit group, because it isn't healthy. This country's already divided. Whilst the media are talking a lot about Rachel, there is one thing that they do not talk about, is when her regulators go after people. This report came out, I'm not sure when, but it talked about this woman being threatened or because she didn't agree with something. And I find that absolutely disgusting, and I find it interesting how the media they're so quick to defend Rachel, but then they won't hold her regulators to the same standard that they seem to hold the Mexit group. And I find this a little bit disgusting and sickening, to be honest, because they're threatening, like, you don't put out threats like that. Like, yes, some of what the Mexit people have said is absolutely appalling, and I do not roll with that whatsoever. But on the other hand of that, there are people on her side who are doing just as bad, who are threatening people, all because they don't support her. And if you're going to hold people accountable, particularly in the media, you have to look at both sides and not be like, oh, they can get away with it, but these people are trolls. It's not fair. It's simply not fair at all. And that's part of the reason why I'm getting fucking sick of reading the news now, because I go on and I can't even get the fucking truth anymore. So I take everything I read with a pinch of salt, basically. So if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. I like to see the proof. And yeah. My personal speculation about her is she's a very unhappy person. There is faking happiness, and then there is genuine happiness, and I feel that she's very unhappy within herself, and that she probably doesn't like herself very much, and because why else would she tell a bunch of lies? And they're not even hard to find. These are things that are on the internet that are easy to find. There are screenshots and everything. So it's not difficult. Like, you can go and research this stuff yourself. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I feel sorry for her because she's biracial. I feel sorry for her because she's American. No. I feel sorry for her because it appears she has a low self-esteem. That's the reality of it. And she needs to deal with that, because people can be vultures. And they'll hone in on that. And she's going to get, sooner or later, the whole truth is going to come out. And then what the fuck's she going to do? I personally don't know how much anyone else is going to put up with this. And but there is one thing I know, that you all have an opinion on this, and I'd like to hear what you have to say, because at the end of the day, if people don't start using their voices and they don't start saying how they feel, people are going to get lost within a crowd, and ultimately it's going to result in complete and utter mayhem. I feel that this is important. My personal opinion on this whole saga is she's fucked up. Big time. Harry fucked up. Big time. And I feel that they need to go. This isn't about me being racist because I know that that's going to be in my comment section down below. This is me being honest. Like, they both fucked up. They didn't follow the rules. So, are we meant to sit here and just take it? No. We're meant to use our voices and clarify why we're not happy with what we're not happy with. I made up my personal decision. You make up yours. It's your choice. Do you feel that she deserves to be in her position she is now? Or do you think her and Harry need to get the fuck out, go and find some other source of income? Or do you think that it's none of our fucking businesses? Let me know down below and don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Bye!